Have you ever said, I'll start tomorrow? Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And before you realize it, another year has passed. The strange thing about wasting time is that it rarely feels like we're wasting it. We tell ourselves, just 5 more minutes. I'll watch one more video. I'll check my phone one last time. But those small moments quietly become hours. Hours become days, and days become years. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they spend too much time doing things that don't move their lives forward. The good news? Time is one of the few things you can start controlling today. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, today. Hello, my amazing students. My name is Sarah. And today, we're going to learn English through one of the most important life skills you can ever develop: how to stop wasting time. We'll discover why procrastination feels so comfortable, how small daily habits shape your future, why your phone may be stealing your attention, how to focus on what truly matters, and why taking action today is always better than waiting for the perfect moment. As you listen, you'll improve your English vocabulary, your listening comprehension, your pronunciation, and your confidence while learning practical strategies that can help you become more productive every single day. Remember, life isn't made of years. It's made of minutes. And the way you spend today's minutes will eventually become the life you live tomorrow. We'll explore this topic through 5 lessons. Lesson number 1, why we waste time. Lesson number 2, build better daily habits. Lesson number 3, stop letting your phone control you. Lesson number 4, focus on what truly matters. And finally, lesson number 5, start before you feel ready. Let's begin with lesson number 1, why we waste time. Before we start, can I ask you one question? A year from now, will your English be better than it is today, or will you still be saying, I'll start next week? The truth is, most people don't fail because English is difficult. They fail because they never truly commit to it. That's why, for a limited time, I've reduced the price of the Native Flow English coaching experience to just $5. Not because it's worth only $5, but because I don't want money to be the reason you never start. For less than the price of a coffee, you can begin building a skill that can stay with you for the rest of your life. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Click the link in the description. Join us today, and I'll see you inside. Now, let's begin today's lesson. Lesson number 1, why we waste time. Have you ever reached the end of the day and thought, I was busy all day, but I didn't really accomplish anything? If so, you're not alone. This happens to millions of people every day. The surprising part is that most people don't intentionally waste time. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, today I'm going to waste 6 hours. Instead, time disappears little by little. 5 minutes on social media, 10 minutes watching random videos, a quick look at the news, one more episode of a TV show, a few unnecessary notifications. By themselves, these moments seem harmless, but together, they can quietly steal hours from your day. So why do we keep doing it? The answer has a lot to do with psychology. Our brains naturally prefer comfort over discomfort. Imagine you have 2 choices. The first is to study English for 30 minutes. The second is to watch funny videos on your phone. Which one feels easier? For most people, the answer is obvious. Watching videos gives your brain immediate pleasure. Studying requires effort. Your brain is always looking for the easiest reward. This is one of the main reasons procrastination exists. Procrastination doesn't usually happen because you're lazy. It happens because your brain wants to avoid discomfort. Think about cleaning your room. The task itself may only take 20 minutes, but before starting, your brain says, "Let's do it later." Then you check your phone, then you make coffee, then you watch a short video. Suddenly, 2 hours have disappeared. The room is still messy, and now you also feel guilty. That's another problem with procrastination. It doesn't remove the task, it only delays it. And while you're delaying it, the stress stays with you. Many people believe they work better under pressure. They wait until the last minute before starting a project. Sometimes they even finish it successfully, but they forget the hidden cost, the stress, the anxiety, the sleepless nights. Imagine two students preparing for the same exam. The first studies a little every day. The second waits until the night before the exam. Both may pass. But which one experiences less stress? The answer is obvious. Small daily actions almost always beat last-minute panic. Another reason we waste time is because we underestimate its value. If someone offered you $1 million to give up 1 year of your life, most people would refuse. Yet many people give away their time every day for things that add no value to their lives. Time is strange. You can't save it. You can't buy more of it. You can't borrow it. Every morning, everyone receives the same 24 hours. The difference is how those hours are used. Successful people don't have more time than anyone else. They simply make different choices. Now let's think about something important. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Imagine someone spends the entire day answering emails, checking messages, attending unnecessary meetings, and organizing files. They feel exhausted, but they never worked on their most important goal. Were they busy? Yes. Were they productive? Not necessarily. Productivity means spending time on the things that truly move your life forward. Sometimes that means doing fewer things, not more. Another hidden reason we waste time is fear. Fear of failure. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of not being good enough. Sometimes people delay starting because they worry the result won't be perfect. They think, "I'll begin when I feel more confident." But confidence rarely comes before action. It usually comes after action. You become confident by doing, not by waiting. The truth is, every successful person has wasted time at some point. The difference is that they eventually recognized the habit, accepted responsibility, and decided to change it. That's where real progress begins, not when you become perfect, but when you become aware of how you're spending your time. Because once you become aware, you can make different choices. And different choices made consistently create a completely different future. Lesson number 2, build better daily habits. Many people believe that successful people are always motivated. They imagine waking up every morning full of energy, excited to work, exercise, study, and achieve their goals. But that's rarely true. Even the most successful people have days when they don't feel motivated. The difference is simple. They don't depend on motivation. They depend on habits. A habit is something you do so often that it becomes almost automatic. Think about brushing your teeth. Do you wake up every morning feeling incredibly motivated to brush your teeth? Probably not. You simply do it. It's part of your routine. That's exactly how productive habits work. The goal isn't to make yourself feel motivated every day. The goal is to make good actions so familiar that you do them without thinking too much. Imagine two people who want to improve their English. The first person studies only when they feel inspired. Some weeks they study every day. Other weeks they don't study at all. The second person studies for just 20 minutes every evening after dinner. Whether they feel motivated or not, they keep their routine. Who do you think will become fluent faster? Almost certainly the second person. Not because they studied longer, but because they studied consistently. This is one of the biggest secrets of personal growth. Small actions repeated every day become extraordinary results over time. Another mistake people make is setting goals that are too big. Someone decides, starting tomorrow, I'll study English for 3 hours every day. Or, I'll go to the gym 7 days a week. It sounds exciting, but after a few days, they become exhausted. Then they quit completely. A better strategy is to start small. Instead of reading 50 pages, read 5. Instead of exercising for 2 hours, exercise for 20 minutes. Instead of trying to change your entire life overnight, improve just one habit. Small habits are easier to maintain, and consistency is far more powerful than intensity. Another helpful idea is to connect a new habit to an existing one. For example, if you already drink coffee every morning, listen to 5 minutes of an English podcast while drinking it. If you always walk after dinner, use that walk to review new vocabulary. Your current habits become reminders for your new habits. This makes change much easier. Now let's talk about distractions. Sometimes the problem isn't that good habits are difficult. It's that bad habits are too easy. Imagine your phone is sitting next to you while you're trying to study. Every few minutes, a notification appears. Even if you don't open it, your attention has already been interrupted. Research has shown that after an interruption, it can take time to fully regain your focus. That's why your environment matters. If you want to read more, leave a book on your desk. If you want to study English, keep your notebook nearby. If you want to stop checking your phone so often, place it in another room while you work. Sometimes success isn't about becoming stronger. It's about making distractions weaker. Another important habit is tracking your progress. You don't need anything complicated. A simple calendar works. Every day you complete your habit, put a small check mark on the calendar. After several days, you'll begin seeing a chain. Naturally, you'll want to keep that chain growing. Progress becomes visible, and visible progress creates motivation. There's another lesson successful people understand. Missing one day isn't a disaster. Missing 2 days can become a habit. Life happens. You may become sick, travel, or have an unexpected emergency. That's okay. The important thing is returning as quickly as possible. Don't allow one missed day to become one missed week. Finally, remember that habits shape your identity. Every time you read, you become a reader. Every time you exercise, you become a healthier person. Every time you practice English, you become an English speaker. You're not only changing what you do, you're changing who you become. And that's why habits are so powerful. They quietly shape your future. one small decision at a time. Because success isn't built in one extraordinary day. It's built in ordinary days, repeated consistently, until they create an extraordinary life. Lesson number 3. Stop letting your phone control you. Imagine this. You pick up your phone for one simple reason. You want to check the time. 5 minutes later, you're watching videos, reading comments, scrolling through social media, replying to messages, and suddenly, you can't even remember why you picked up your phone in the first place. Has that ever happened to you? If it has, you're not alone. Our phones are amazing tools. They help us communicate, learn, work, travel, and stay connected with the people we care about. But they can also become one of the biggest distractions in our lives. The problem isn't the phone itself. The problem is using it without intention. Many apps are designed to keep your attention for as long as possible. Every notification, every recommendation, and every endless scroll encourages you to stay just a little longer. One more video, one more post, one more minute. But those minutes quickly become hours. This is sometimes called the attention economy. Many companies compete for one thing: your attention. Because the longer you stay on an app, the more advertisements you see, the more content you watch, the more valuable your time becomes to that company. That's why protecting your attention has become more important than ever. Imagine your attention is like money. If someone took a small amount from your wallet every few minutes, you would notice. You would protect it. But when your attention disappears little by little, it's much harder to see. Yet it's just as valuable. Because once your time is gone, you can never get it back. Another problem with constant phone use is that it breaks your focus. Suppose you're studying English. You read for 10 minutes. Then a notification appears. You check it for 30 seconds. You return to your lesson. A few minutes later, another notification appears. Although each interruption feels small, your brain has to restart its concentration every time. Instead of learning deeply, you stay in a constant state of distraction. Now imagine a different situation. You put your phone on silent. You place it in another room. For the next 30 minutes, you focus on only one task. No interruptions, no notifications, no scrolling. You'll probably accomplish far more in those 30 minutes than in 2 distracted hours. That's the power of deep focus. Another habit many people have is checking their phone the moment they wake up. Before getting out of bed, they open social media, read messages, watch videos. By the time they finally start their day, their attention already belongs to someone else. What if you change that habit? Imagine beginning your morning by reading a few pages of a book, reviewing English vocabulary, stretching, writing your goals, or simply enjoying a quiet breakfast. You begin the day with purpose instead of distraction. The same idea applies before going to sleep. Many people spend their last hour of the day looking at a screen. Their brains remain active. Sleep becomes more difficult. Instead, try ending your day with something peaceful. Read a book. Reflect on your day. Prepare tomorrow's plan. Your mind will often feel much calmer. Now, this doesn't mean your phone is the enemy. In fact, it can become one of your greatest learning tools. You can listen to English podcasts, watch educational videos, read articles, practice vocabulary, join language communities. The same device that distracts you can also help you grow. The difference is how you choose to use it. Ask yourself one simple question every time you unlock your phone. Why am I opening it? If you have a clear purpose, continue. If you don't, perhaps you don't need to open it at all. That one question creates awareness, and awareness changes habits. Finally, remember that your attention shapes your future. Whatever receives your attention every day slowly shapes the person you become. If your attention is constantly pulled in every direction, your progress becomes slower. But if you learn to protect your focus, you'll be surprised by how much you can achieve. Your phone should be your tool, not your boss. You should decide when to use it, not the other way around. Because every notification you ignore, every unnecessary scroll you avoid, and every focused minute you protect is another step toward becoming the person you truly want to be. Lesson number 4. Focus on what truly matters. Have you ever finished a long day feeling exhausted, but still wondering, what did I actually accomplish today? You answered emails. You replied to messages. You watched a few videos. You attended meetings. You completed small tasks. You were busy from morning until evening. But when you think about your biggest goals, nothing really moved forward. This happens to many people because being busy and being productive are not the same thing. Imagine you're climbing a ladder. You climb quickly. You work hard. You never stop moving. But after hours of climbing, you discover something surprising. The ladder is leaning against the wrong wall. All your effort, all your energy, all your time took you somewhere you never wanted to go. That's what happens when we spend our lives doing things that aren't truly important. Working hard is valuable, but working on the right things is even more valuable. So how do we know what truly matters? A simple question can help. Ask yourself, will this still matter 1 year from now? Suppose you're about to spend an hour arguing with a stranger online. Will that conversation improve your life next year? Probably not. Now imagine spending that same hour learning English, reading a useful book, improving a professional skill, or exercising. 1 year later, those small investments could completely change your life. Successful people don't only manage their time, they manage their priorities. They understand that every time they say yes to one thing, they're also saying no to something else. If you spend 2 hours scrolling through social media, that's 2 hours you didn't spend building your future. Every choice has a hidden cost. Another important skill is learning to say no. Many people are always busy because they never refuse anything. A friend asks for a favor. They immediately say yes. Someone invites them somewhere. They say yes. Another unnecessary meeting appears. Yes again. Soon, their entire schedule belongs to other people. Of course, helping others is important, but constantly saying yes to everything often means saying no to your own goals. Sometimes, protecting your time is an act of self-respect. Another mistake people make is confusing urgency with importance. Imagine your phone rings. A message arrives. An email appears. Everything feels urgent. You immediately stop what you're doing. But ask yourself, is this truly important? Sometimes, the most important work isn't the loudest. Reading, learning, planning, thinking, improving your skills, these activities rarely feel urgent, yet they often create the biggest long-term rewards. Let's think about English again. Watching one English lesson today may not completely change your life, but watching one lesson every day for a year, that's different. Those small investments become powerful over time. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because the results aren't immediate. Imagine planting a tree. You water it today, tomorrow. It still looks almost the same. Next week, very little has changed. But months later, the tree begins growing stronger. Years later, it provides shade, fruit, and beauty. Your important habits work exactly the same way. The results arrive slowly, but they last for a long time. There's another habit that can completely change your productivity. Begin each day by asking yourself, what are the 3 most important things I need to accomplish today? Not 20 things, just 3. When you finish those 3 priorities, everything else becomes a bonus. This keeps your attention focused instead of scattered. Finally, remember that your life is built one day at a time. You don't suddenly create a successful career. You build it through thousands of focused days. You don't suddenly become fluent in English. You become fluent through hundreds of small learning sessions. You don't suddenly become healthier. You become healthier through daily choices. The future isn't created in one extraordinary moment. It's created by ordinary decisions made consistently. So don't ask yourself only, how can I stay busy? Ask yourself, am I spending my time on the things that truly matter? Because at the end of your life, you probably won't regret spending less time on meaningless distractions. You'll regret the dreams you never started, the skills you never learned, and the opportunities you never took because you were too busy doing things that didn't matter. Choose your priorities carefully, protect your time, and remember, your future is built by what you choose to focus on today. Lesson number 5, start before you feel ready. How many dreams have disappeared because of one sentence? I'm not ready yet. Maybe you've said it before. I'll start learning English when I have more time. I'll start my business when I have more money. I'll go to the gym next month. I'll write that book one day. I'll apply for that job when I become more confident. At first, these excuses sound reasonable, but weeks become months, months become years, and one day, you realize you've been waiting for the perfect moment that never arrived. Here's one of the biggest truths about success. Nobody ever feels completely ready. Think about the first day you went to school, the first time you drove a car, the first job interview you attended, the first presentation you gave. Were you completely confident? Probably not. You learn by doing, not by waiting. Many people believe confidence comes before action, but life usually works the opposite way. Action creates confidence. Every time you try something new, your brain learns. Every mistake teaches you something. Every small success builds your belief in yourself. Imagine standing at the edge of a swimming pool. You spend hours reading books about swimming, watching videos, listening to experts. Will that make you a swimmer? Of course not. Eventually, you have to get into the water. Learning English is exactly the same. You can memorize thousands of words, study grammar for years, watch hundreds of lessons, but if you never speak, you'll never become a confident speaker. Knowledge is important. Action is what transforms knowledge into skill. Another mistake people make is believing they need huge amounts of time to make progress. They think, if I can't study for 2 hours, there's no point studying at all. But progress doesn't work like that. Imagine saving just a small amount of money every day. One day, it doesn't seem like much. But after months or years, those small savings become significant. Time works in exactly the same way. 10 focused minutes every day are more valuable than 3 hours once a month. Small actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary results. Another important lesson is to stop chasing perfection. Perfection is one of the biggest enemies of progress. Some people never publish their work because it isn't perfect. They never start a business because the plan isn't perfect. They never speak English because their grammar isn't perfect. Meanwhile, someone else begins with less knowledge, makes mistakes, keeps improving, and eventually succeeds. Why? Because progress always beats perfection. Remember this simple sentence: done is better than perfect. Another habit that successful people develop is celebrating small victories. Did you study English today? Celebrate it. Did you read 10 pages of a book? That's progress. Did you spend 30 minutes without checking your phone? Excellent. Small victories create momentum, and momentum keeps you moving. Don't wait until you achieve a huge goal before feeling proud of yourself. Be proud of becoming the kind of person who shows up consistently. There's another question I'd like you to ask yourself. Imagine your future self 5 years from now. What advice would that person give you today? Would they say, keep waiting? Or would they probably say, start now. You'll be grateful that you did. Most likely, they would choose the second answer, because your future is being built right now, not next year, not someday, today. Every decision you make, every habit you repeat, every hour you spend is shaping the person you'll become. As we finish today's lesson, remember something very important. Time doesn't stop. Whether you take action or not, tomorrow will still arrive. The question is, when tomorrow comes, will you be one step closer to your goals, or still waiting for the perfect moment? Life isn't changed by one extraordinary decision. It's changed by ordinary decisions, made every single day. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop believing you need to feel ready. Take one small step today. Read one page. Learn one new English expression. Exercise for 10 minutes. Write one paragraph. Make one phone call. Begin. Because every successful person you admire was once a beginner who decided to start before they felt ready. And years from now, you'll never regret the day you finally took that first step. Thank you so much for listening. I hope today's lesson inspires you not only to improve your English, but also to take better control of your time and your future. Keep learning, keep growing, keep taking action, and remember, your future isn't created by what you plan to do tomorrow. It's created by what you choose to do today.